Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 1st through the 7th. And during that time, we have a full moon that comes in on the 2nd. And of course, the full moon is a time where you might feel heightened emotions or you might feel a little overwhelmed and anxious or a little irritable. You may have changes in your sleeping patterns, but it's a good time for us to release any resentment or fear that we've built up over this cycle so far, and also to practice patience and calm. It's like a little gift. It's like, here, learn how to be more patient. Which I think through my lifetime I have learned because I love the energy of the full moon and I just feel energetic. I don't feel anxious. I just feel like let's do a lot, maybe even a little manic, I feel like. So I need less sleep. I just feel like I'm charged, just like the moon is. So, anyway, we then move into the waning gibbous. I forgot what I was talking about. I just got lost in my own thoughts for a second. Sorry about that. Waning gibbous is about it's about self-reflection and rebirth. So it is a little bit more calm. Good time for us to make positive changes and to have the potential to grow, get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and just positively work towards achieving our goals and aspirations. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is confidence is your key to success. All right. Let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder is that you try to get out into nature this week. Try to get a walk in or find a beautiful park or someplace with a lovely view and just really take the time to connect. Just stop for a little bit and connect with something. Maybe it's a leaf, maybe it's a tree, maybe it's the sky, maybe it's a cliff or a waterfall, or if you're lucky enough to be near the ocean, maybe it's the ocean waves. So, which I love. If you live near the ocean, the rest of us don't. We really need you to go out and do that for us since we can't. Anyway, try to get out and connect with nature. And I know for some of us, it's been very cold. I mean, I'm not even sure if I can take my own advice this week. I will try, and probably during the full moon, I do try to get out during the full moon, even if it's so cold. But it's just been bitter cold, and it's really no fun to be out there right now. But try to do it. Anyway, that's my fun weekly reminder. Let's get into this reading. For Sagittarius, February 1st through the 7th, confidence is your key to success. Your present energy right now is the Nine of Swords. So here I am trying to tell you with this full moon to not feel anxious, but there you are being anxious and sleepless nights. So whatever this is on your mind, it's time of the month right now with the full moon is to release resentment and fear. And if it takes nature for you to do that, nature is really good at absorbing those anxieties and things. So again, try to get out and get a walk in, get in nature, try to connect, and again, just dissipate some of that anxiety. You might be surprised with what a walk can do for you. Just a walk through the woods, a walk in nature. It's just so relaxing and so nice for anxiety. So keep that in mind. Your current situation is the Chariot. So it looks like you're fretting over some sort of move that you're about to make. You're not probably going to make it this week, but you're definitely in information gathering mode. And maybe you're just not liking the information that you're having to manage and deal with. And it's causing you some anxiety. But again, find ways to, clear your head of those thoughts. This could be meditation or nature, whatever way works for you to you're going to have a little bit more clarity to make these decisions, and it might seem stressful right now, and sometimes it's just stressful to get started on something, and once you get started you're like, why was I so stressed about that? So think about that. Just start making a list that might help you. List the things that are causing you this anxiety, and that's how we start to make changes, right? So we can dissipate and not have that anxiety. At the root of your situation right now is enjoying the fruits of your labor, which maybe you over enjoyed. Maybe you've overindulged a little bit and you're like, ugh, back to reality, right? Back to reality where I have to think about these things and face these things, and that's okay. You had a little break from it. Again, if you need to put pen to paper, just get your thoughts organized. A lot of times if we just take the time to organize those thoughts, it will quell that anxiety. In your recent past, is the Two of Wands. So, of course, this is a card about looking towards the future and about making changes. And it's, something we all kind of do in January. And here we are in February. Did you start making those changes? Did you try to change too many things at once? My advice is always that the new moon comes around each cycle and it's almost like a new year. So instead of trying to change 27 things on January 1st, like, I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to invest more. I'm going to save more money. I'm going to stop spending money. All those things that we try to do as resolutions, it's too much. So make a list and you pick one thing at a time. One thing, change one habit at a time, and then give yourself time to cycle through and adapt that as a habit, and then choose the next thing. Do it in a calmer way. So maybe you're trying to do that. Just start making a list, right? What's on your mind this week is the 10 of Pentacles. So it is on your mind that you're thinking about the longevity and the wealth and security of your family. This is about generational things and thinking about things. And of course, that is anxiety causing, because that starts to involve money and property and things and values, things that we're passing on. It's not just about the material things that we pass on, but about those worldly things, setting up, putting good examples out into your family for, a moral way of being, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Just maybe charitable. How are we charitable as a family, and how does that move forward through the generations? But those are things to be thinking about, and they seem to be on your mind this week. So that can be causing you to want to gather information to make moves. And it could be, again, financial moves that you're like, we need to invest more, we need to save more so that we can have these goals and move towards them. All right. What is just ahead of you this week is, again, moving towards the future. And here's the eight. It has been a strange week, these set of readings with the eights. Um, there's been an eight, I believe, in every reading, and sometimes two and three. So everybody needs to just look up the angel number eight. Let's see if you have more as you come out. But so ahead of you this week is you moving ahead, kind of exploring what's out there. What this could be anything, but you've got some support at your back. You've got, this would be friends and family that support you moving off into a new direction, right? You've got people that are there for you with it. And your advice position here is the King of Pentacles. So the advice is to get more knowledgeable here. And look at all these pentacles. Yeah, you've done some indulgence here. Also, we do have two nines on the table. So look up angel number 99 also. But, you know, indulging, but also thinking ahead of to the future. And maybe this is just kind of your back to work and back to, excuse me, let me grab a cup of coffee. There we go. Because this is in your advice position, this is gaining knowledge. This is gaining knowledge on the financial things and the material things. This is about learning the next step to know about finances or real estate or that sort of thing, or just managing how to purchase things, right? This could be simplifying your grocery list every month. This could be, making a decision to not indulge so much. If the indulgence maybe led you here, that maybe your bank account is a little emptier because of your indulgences. So this is just about knowledge about how to live the way you want to and in the material realm, and to go learn those things. There are many things to learn. Believe me, a lifetime. I'm still learning. So what is beyond your control this week is some indecision. Okay, that makes sense. That's also anxiety inducing. So again, I'm going to say put pen to paper. Um, Sometimes you just have to write things down so that you can develop a clear picture. Excuse me, if you're thinking about making a move here, which is what the Chariot card is about, this is about gathering information. So start writing down the information that you are gathering. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Hanged Man. So maybe you do want to have a new perspective. This will be your big question of the week for yourself. Do you want to look at things in a different way, or are you trying to avoid looking at things in a different way? Either is fine. It's two paths. Some of you will take the no, I'm not having a new I'm not looking at this in a new way. That's fine. Some of you will be like, I'm going to look at this in a new way. um there's all those paths, right? There's no right answer, but just your answer, what you want to make the decision on this week. But so ask yourself, do I want to look at this in a new way, and how would I do that? Or do I just not want to do it? I'm not doing it right now. There's other things going on. Again, either way is fine. That'll just be your big question of the week. In your outcome position, here is the Justice card. So looks like you are going to come to some sort of truth, some sort of maybe a little revelation, or it could just be, again, if you're taking pen to paper and doing like a pros and cons, or, this is what you sometimes just writing it down and seeing it in black and white, you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. So ask yourself again, if do you want to see that new perspective? Because maybe you do, maybe you don't. Also, look up angel number 22. So we've got 22, 99, and 8. Lots of angel numbers for you to look up this week, seeing if we have any more repeaters. We do have a couple of 7s on the table as well. Just go look at some angel numbers. See if those will guide you this week. What's hidden from you is the 10. So you're not quite done, but you're almost there, right? Look at this anxiety. You're almost ready to put this down. Hopefully, you can achieve this. If you can't do it this week, hopefully next week is the week that things do lighten up for you. And I'm going to say again, now we've got 2 10s on the table. So, Sagittarius, lots of repeating numbers for you, lots of other information in the universe that maybe the universe wants you to look at, right? So get out there and look at it and see if there's information that is relevant to your life this week. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Sagittarius for February 1st through the 7th. Accept accept disappointments gracefully. Okay, there could be things that are a little disappointing. Remember, be confident. Confidence is your key to success. But if you have disappointments and things that just accept them gracefully. Move on. It's just see it as the learning event that it is. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care? Self-care for Sagittarius this week. And the card that comes out for you is the card that says Rebel. It's time to celebrate the fact that you don't fit in, stand on your own 2 feet. So that to me just says do your own thing. The thing that you might be trying to come up with, maybe it doesn't fit in and conform with, maybe even just the way your family thinks, right? And they're going to be like, oh, look at you doing this thing in a different way. But go ahead, it's fine. Um, you know, n- None of us knows everything. And sometimes it is time to break out and do things in a little bit of a different way. That can be especially in a family system, and I'm not even sure if that's what we're talking about, but that's where I'm going to go right now. Especially in a family system, if someone has done something a particular way, and we're all guilty of this, that the one person that's like, well, I'm doing it this way, and the rest of us are like, well, why isn't our way good enough? Isn't this the best? No, maybe there are other ways, and it's about the rest of us kind of being open to like, oh, okay, maybe that is a better way. Maybe the rest of us could be a little more accepting of that. So accept disappointments gracefully and do things your own way. Be a rebel, be confident, make the changes you want to do, and then come back next week and let's see if this energy changes and it's confident Sagittarius doing the things that they want to do because they finally made a decision. So thank you so much for being here, Sagittarius. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life in a positive way this week. Of course, that's always my wish. If you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will get you back here next week where we can see where this story does go. Also, please like and subscribe. That's very nice of you to do that. And oh, I was going to say what I meant to say was if you're comfortable enough, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Let me know, what are these disappointments that you're learning how to deal with gracefully, and are you rebelling in some way? I'd be very curious to know the answers to all of those questions. So once again, thank you, Sagittarius, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.